What's up? It's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and tomorrow, the U.S. men's national team play their last game of World Cup qualifying against Costa Rica. And while we technically haven't clinched World Cup qualifying, the USA team would have to lose to Costa Rica 6-0 in order to fail. So I think we're good. However, that being said, Costa Rica still have everything to play for. While maybe catching the U.S. is out of the realm of possibilities, Mexico is only 4 goals clear of them. So should Mexico lose and Costa Rica win, say 2 or 3-0, they're going to be in the World Cup. And that makes them a dangerous opponent as they have nothing to lose and everything to play for. However, I'm excited about that, as that makes it a good test for an American team that is now in preparation for the World Cup. Because if you look at Costa Rica, they're probably around the quality of the worst team we will play in the World Cup. And that's the worst team if we're lucky. So right now, we should be holding ourselves to a World Cup level standard and playing them as if they are a team that we need to beat. And honestly, if we look at Costa Rica and we look at the situation the game is, it's actually pretty similar to a spot we could play in the World Cup. A team that has everything to play for, they need a win in order to get a result. That's something we could very well face in the World Cup. So I'm interested to see how we can do. And if you look at us right now, well, we're in the World Cup. We're technically not clinched yet. And because of that, I expect us to put out a strong team. Probably our strongest 11. And that means we can see how this team will do against a World Cup level opponent. As I mentioned before, we're in the preparation stage of the World Cup, which means we have to raise our standards. So now, this isn't the time when we can ignore bad passes out of the back, missing chances, and pointless giveaways in the midfield. All of those could very easily cost us points in the World Cup, and if they cost us points in the World Cup, it could cost us a spot in the knockout round, or cost us the tournament. Do you guys remember how costly Michael Bradley's one mistake was after a very good game? We're at the point where we can't just overlook a bad performance for 1 or 2 good moments. We're at the stage where we overlook good performances because of 1 or 2 bad plays. And that's a scary thing, but we need to start holding these guys to a standard because the World Cup is a tough competition. I mean, something that you can look up and see, since the MLS was founded in 1996, the 6 World Cups since then, they've all been won by players in the top 5 of European leagues or the Brazilian League in 2002. Those are the only places where the players have come from that have won the World Cup. Not to say it's impossible for great players to come from elsewhere, but it should be said that we know we have to play at a really high level. And when I look at that high level of play we need to get to, I think we only have 2 or 3 players at that right now. And that's Pulisic, McKinney, and maybe Dest. So yeah, we have to be holding players to a higher standard because maybe our quality isn't enough to bridge that gap, but if the team can play really well and become a well-oiled machine, that can bring up the level of talent. But in order to do that, this team needs to be held to standards. Players need to be constructively criticized. Don't be jerks or anything. Don't bully players. But if a player makes a bad mistake, that needs to be addressed. And we need to raise the standard of this team. We're not in CONCACAF anymore. We're on the world stage. To quote the great Haley Williams, "You're not the big fish in the pond no more. You are what they're feeding on." So, for this game, I'm looking for the team to play well and prove that they can actually win a game outside of the USA. We're going to be putting out a strong team. And if we drop points to Costa Rica right now, that's the equivalent of us losing to the worst team in our group in the World Cup. That dropping points there alone could mean we miss out on the knockout stage altogether. And honestly, even if we win, but we scrape by and win, I wouldn't really be satisfied with that either. Because if we're the plucky USA team and maybe it's not the prettiest, but we're going to show defensive grit, use all of our energy and, just tenacity and triumph over the opposition in the end, and then maybe, just maybe, if luck goes our way, we can make a run to the quarterfinals. If that's our mentality now, then nothing has changed since we failed to qualify for the World Cup 5 years ago. If we just come in with the mentality and, honestly, the talent level that won't let us decisively win games like this, then those last 5 years of building up this squad, they would have been pointless. We'll be the same team, the same mentality, and while the talent's gotten better, there's that same gap between us and, let's say, Belgium. And I don't expect Belgium to make a very good deep run this tournament. Well, they could if they put everything together, but it doesn't seem likely. So, this game will be the first test for the team at a higher level. We'll get to see if they have what it takes to succeed at that higher level, and it's really time to start holding these guys to a World Cup level standard. That's all I really have to say about this today. And keep in mind, this is how I'm going to be talking about the game after the USA play, so even if we win, it might not be a good result. But that's just the standard that we have to hold this team to if we want to actually do something at the World Cup this year. So I'll talk about right now. See ya.